Hi, I'm Karen Wolf, marriage and family therapist and owner of SF Bay Play Therapy in San Francisco, Oakland, and through telehealth. And I want to talk to you about a brief technique that you can use with kids who are struggling with everything that's going on. I have so many children that I'm seeing these days, old clients reaching out for even one off sessions because there's so many difficulties right now. Kids are still dealing with the pandemic. Many of them haven't seen their friends for nearly a year. They feel isolated. They feel scared about what's happening in the news. They've seen the protests. They are understanding racism in a new way. Things are really scary for many kids. And so, one thing that I have been doing over video, but you can also do it with pen and paper, is talking about understanding our more vulnerable feelings and how that leads to difficult behaviors and what we can do about that. So what you would do with your child is essentially, I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. You can do this over telehealth if you're a therapist. Is you or I start with children saying that when we have difficult experiences, what it's like is it's like a volcano. So here's my lovely, amazing depiction of a volcano. And what do volcanoes do when they get full? They explode. So here's the explosions, the lava going everywhere, and that lava, that explosion is akin to feeling anger. It's akin to having outbursts. It's akin to having meltdowns. We might want to even curse, or we might even want to have lots of crying in these moments. So whatever's happening for your child, you can acknowledge it in this way, by however they're showing their difficult emotions. And yes, it's important to respond to those behaviors, but what's more important is what is causing this eruption of emotion. And so the next thing I say to kids is I say, just like with physical volcanoes, that what causes an eruption is something bubbling up from underneath until it's so much that it can't stay in anymore and it comes out. So too is it the same with our emotions. And so we want to see what's underneath. What's underneath the volcano? And oftentimes there can be things like fear. Let's do that in a different color, like fear. A lot of kids, and then I would say, "What do you?" So what I do is I give the suggestion. Oftentimes there's things like fear, disappointment, um, hurt. What for you? What for you have you been feeling? And maybe they'll say, "Yeah, I've been scared." What have you been scared of? What have you been scared of? And some of the things that I'll hear kids say is, I'm scared of coronavirus. I'm scared I'm scared that the future. I'm scared of the future, essentially, that the future will be dangerous. I'm disappointed that I can't see my friends. I have, a few kids saying I'm feeling so cranky because I'm on a screen all day, all day. And then what we could do is we could say, yeah, of course, these feelings are going to cause a big eruption. We have to find ways to let those feelings out. We have to find ways to let that fear out before it turns into an explosion, to let that disappointment out, and also to transform. So then we can start a conversation around, well, how can we let those feelings out? Talking with a trusted adult, doing playing with an adult about how you're feeling, doing drawings, doing poems, listening to music. What are the things that can let the feeling out in a way that it can feel loved? And also, what does that feeling need in order to feel comforted? How can you do things that will bring you more joy? So it's both making space for those feelings to be there in the way, whatever ways. It's not always going to be verbal. Sometimes it's just the way we give a hug. Maybe the way that you give your mom a hug shows how hurt you're feeling about losing that special friendship that you had with a girl who had to move away because of coronavirus. Maybe that's how you show it. So letting that out and just having this conversation alone will allow your family to have a reframe around these big difficult emotions, these big difficult behaviors, and what's causing them underneath. It's not going to solve everything. Kids are going to still have big emotions, especially right now. There's a lot going on, but it's a way to get the conversation verbally and non-verbally going. So I am Karen Wolf, and you can find out more about our services at sfbayplaytherapy.com. And I wish you and your family so much goodness and blessings and just right now and always. Okay, thank you so much.